Hey, ambitious mamas, it's Ellie here. I'm here with Kim Stone from Undercover Mum. Hey, Kim, how you going?
I'm great. How are you, Ellie?
I'm well, thanks. So we'd like to just have you introduce yourself and talk about what you do and what keeps you up.
Great. So, I am a mother of two beautiful little children, and currently I'm actually on maternity leave from my corporate career for the second time. And I'm also in my spare time, setting up a business. So,
As you do on the side.
yeah, it's so funny. Whenever I say that, in my spare time, people give me a really strange look like, how do you have any spare time? But I actually do. The first time I was on maternity leave, I actually got a bit bored, and that's part of the reason I went back to my career was because for me, being a stay-at-home mum, as lovely as it was for a little bit, wasn't really that fulfilling. So it's nice to have this experience where I essentially am a stay-at-home mum, but in my spare time, I'm also doing something really fulfilling in setting up my business and helping other mums return to work and mentoring other working mums as well.
Excellent. It sounds similar to my path as I went on maternity leave the first time. Basically didn't have a return to work plan. And then Lisa showed up and we started a business together. And whilst I was having a second baby as well. So yeah, it sounds very familiar. Excellent. Excellent. And what's your wisdom that you want to share today? Talk about life hacks, perhaps, because I'm assuming that if you have spare time with two little children, you'll have some of those.
Yeah, I definitely have learnt to manage my time and energy as well a lot differently, a lot better. And one of the concepts that I've actually been speaking to people recently about is quality over quantity. So a lot of people, okay, let's compare things I used to do before I had kids to the way I do things now. So before I had kids, I actually used to spend every day at the gym for at least an hour.
Wow.
And that's quite a lot of time. When you don't have kids, that's fine. You have the luxury of time. Uh, and exercise is important to me. So I needed to find a way to still do that uh, while also trying to fit it around motherhood and career. So when I did return to work the first time, I went back to the gym 3 days a week, 3 times a week. And so it's a grand total of 2 to 3 hours a week at the gym now. So my workouts now need to be much more effective and efficient because I don't have the quantity of time anymore. It's all about quality time at the gym.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can still achieve the same results without having to spend lots of time doing things. And there are lots of other ways that I do things differently, like grocery shopping. I know a lot of mums love going to the grocery shops because they consider that me time away from the kids. But I hate grocery shopping, and so does my husband. So we actually order online now, and
That's
you
great.
can get it delivered or you can pick it up. And I also don't spend a lot of time planning meals anymore. We used to have these elaborate meals that would take a long time to prepare, and they were delicious. And now we pretty much have the same menu each week, and the meals are simple and quick, and that also makes the grocery shopping quicker.
Yeah, we're
So it
definitely.
might sound a bit boring for some people, but I don't like to spend a lot of time and energy worrying about what I'm going to eat and preparing it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds very familiar because we're kind of in that trend right now where we're trying to simplify the meals, especially when Nick travels. I'm like, I don't really want to spend an hour in the kitchen whilst Maya's hanging on my leg and Hugo is hopefully sleeping or something. So that's definitely a good plan to have, having a menu. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you love cooking, then that's time well spent. But if you don't love cooking, like I don't love cooking, there's other things I'd rather be doing.
Yeah, good call. Excellent. Do you want to any parting wisdoms that you want to share with the group before we call it a wrap?
There's lots of wisdom that I could share. There's so much, but I don't want to overwhelm people.
True.
um, what are some of the other things that you hear mums, struggling with?
If I look at myself and what I've been finding, it's hard to find the right balance. And
Oh, I've stopped using the word balance. Yeah. I don't like the word balance because there's no balance. There's no half of you will do this, like half the time you go to work and half of the time you spend with your family. I mean, you can organise it like that if you want to. But I think it's about feeling like you're satisfying all the parts of you and the things that you want to have in your life. Like, so having it all, but not necessarily doing it all, and not necessarily in balance.
Yeah,
So,
and I like what you said about feeling it, because like there's what we should be doing, what we do, and then how we feel about it, which are sometimes three very different things. So
yeah. So for me, my, optimal balance was actually working 3 days a week and having 4 days a week at home. Now that's not half, but that's what worked for me. It was enough to make my time spent in my career meaningful and enough to make the time that I spent with my family meaningful. Yeah. And I also realised that I'm really lucky to have had the opportunity to work part-time like that, because I know it's not easy to find a part-time career that's meaningful.
Yeah.
But I think it's about finding the harmony.
Yeah. Well said. Nicely put. Thanks for that, Kim. If they want to learn more about you, they can look you up under Undercover Mum.
Yes, undercovermum.com.au. And also there's Facebook and Instagram that I'm using as well.
Cool. Thank you for hosting an interview with us, and look forward to keeping connecting with you.
Thank you for having me, Ellie.
Bye.
Bye.